Director General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Welcome to this very special Women's Day event. Please allow me to welcome our online audience who is following us live from all around the world. Bienvenue, bienvenida, Juan Hing, merhaban. I am Sophie Bouteau-de-Lacombe. I'm the Director of the Office of Public Information and Communication, and I will be your moderator today. As you know, the IAEA Director General is an international gender champion, promoting gender balance in the nuclear field and at the agency. The launch of the IAEA Lise Meitner Programme today builds on the Marie Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship Programme by breaking down some of the barriers women career with a multi-week visiting, technical and leadership training program. To bridge the gender gap in the nuclear sector, we need to increase the number of women at all levels, including in leadership positions. We have an inspiring panel with us today. Mrs. Monika Fritsch, the grandniece of Lise Meitner, and the daughter of her nephew Otto Robert Fritsch. We have Excellency Gabriela Sellner, the resident representative of the Permanent Mission of Austria to the IAEA. Her Excellency Annika Markovic, the resident representative of the Permanent Mission of Sweden to Austria. And Her Excellency Laura Holgat, the resident representative of the Permanent Mission of the United States to the IAEA. Thank you for being with us today. Before we give you the floor, I invite you to watch a video about the IAEA Lise Meitner Programme.
The IAEA is working to boost the careers of women in the nuclear field through the launch of a new professional development program. The Lise Meitner Programme honors the trailblazing Austrian-Swedish physicist who discovered nuclear fission in the 1930s. As a Jewish woman, Dr. Meitner faced many barriers and even danger to her life. Her indispensable contribution to science has been overlooked for far too long. Her brilliance, bravery, paved the way for women to follow her footsteps and become successful nuclear physicists. The IAEA Lise Meitner Programme is designed to boost the career development of women in the nuclear field. It will provide participants opportunities to visit a wide range of nuclear facilities, meet with leaders and experts, and benefit from an in-depth technical and leadership activities. As it grows, it will create a supportive community of high-profile women working in nuclear. Our goal is to help bridge the gender gap in the nuclear sector and increase the number of women in leadership positions. The world needs nuclear technology to help solve many of its most pressing problems, from climate change to energy and food security. We cannot afford to forgo the contribution of women. The IAEA's Lise Meitner Programme is a natural addition to the IAEA's Marie Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship Programme, which boosts the number of women in the nuclear field by offering financial support towards women pursuing master's degrees in nuclear subjects. The Lise Meitner Programme offers practical, tangible steps to help women in all stages of their career in the nuclear field to discover for themselves what Dr. Meitner called the deep awe and joy that the natural order of things brings to the true scientist.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite the Director General of the IAEA, Rafael Mariano Grossi, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Sophie, and thank you all for being here today with us. It is indeed a very special day because of the fact that we have this rare opportunity to celebrate by doing something concrete. We know that in the area of gender issues, normally words abound and facts are not perhaps as frequent as nice speeches and promises. I think we have to follow up our commitments with real opportunities to help redress what we know is an unfair and has been an unfair situation for women for too long. Things are improving, but of course, in order to get to where we want to be, we have to do some things. At the IAEA, we started, and I don't want to repeat what you just heard me say in the video, but let me say that the Marie Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship is a reality. You are making a reality because our member states are helping us, are giving us the resources to make it so. And I like to say that in my travels and my visits around the world, something very, very nice is starting, just starting, but it's starting to happen to me. In that when I go to places, 1 or 2 young girls come to me and say, I am a fellow. I am a Marie Sklodowska-Curie fellow. And I say this is starting to happen because we need many more. We need thousands of fellows. But we have a nice group already approaching 500. And if we think that 2 years ago this was just an idea, I think we have reason to be moderately satisfied because there is more to do. But the logic of the Lise Meitner program is to continue giving structure to the idea, giving young vocations in nuclear science for women opportunities. So when the Marie Sklodowska is helping women finish their studies because they don't have the opportunities, they don't have the means to do it, the Lise Meitner is going the next step, is getting into where things are become more real. It's getting to academia, to universities, to laboratories, to companies, to nuclear power plants, to laboratories where nuclear science and applications, because it's not only about nuclear energy, are taking place, and where we want to see women thrive. And of course, you are here because of this example that Lise gave us all. She had, as you saw, and as you know, all possible disadvantages. All possible disadvantages. In a world, in a Europe in turmoil, she was a woman, she was a Jew, she was escaping to save her life, she was struggling to be able to work. She had to work in a lab as a clerk because as a woman, she would not be allowed to enter the lab. Can you imagine that? But she came to be what she is, and we are remembering her. We are keeping her memory. We are, of course, paying homage to what she did, but also showing the new generations, those who are there, those who need the opportunities, the places, and the occasions to do that. So I'll stop here. I am accompanied here by a group of distinguished women who are making this possible. Of course, you, as a scientist in your own, and an educator in your own capacity, you are bringing the memory of Lise Meitner. The ambassadors here, of course, Sweden, which became the refuge for Lise, a country that has this noble tradition of protecting people in trouble and standing for the good values. And we are celebrating that. And it's all about Austria, who is hosting us. and who is allowing us to do this great work. And Lise was Austrian, of course. And Laura and Professor Marshall is here, and I think she's going to be saying a few words as well. It's the United States who said, we are the first that want to help. When I had an opportunity to describe to the ambassador and to Secretary Granholm, the Secretary of Energy of the United States, this idea, they interrupted me and said, what do we need to do? We want to be the first. And so the first cohort of Lise Meitners is going to be traveling to your university and to different facilities in the United States. So for the ambassadors in the room, start thinking who is going to be the second, please, because this is going to be needed. I stop here, and I thank you very much for being here with us, marking International Women's Day in the right way, which is doing something about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director General, for your inspiring words. By naming our new program the IAEA Lise Meitner Programme, we are indeed recognizing the remarkable role model of Lise Meitner for women in science, honoring her courage and visionary work. And we have the pleasure to have with us today one of Lise Meitner's relatives. So with Monika Frisch, who is the grandniece of Lise Meitner and the daughter of her nephew, Otto Robert Frisch. Mrs. Frisch, the floor is yours.
Hello? Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Monika Frisch, and as they have said, I am the great niece of Lise Meitner. I'm honoured to be here for the launch of the Lise Meitner Programme, which has been explained to us, to train more women nuclear scientists, and I'm pleased to be also here to see the library of the International Atomic Energy Agency renamed after her. My father was Otto Robert Frisch, and Lise Meitner was his aunt, the sister of his mother. I expect many of you are familiar with them and their work, but I'll provide a brief summary. There are many biographies of Lise Meitner available in English and in German, and my father also wrote his own autobiography, What Little I Remember, if you want more information, and I think that's also available in many other languages. Lise was born in Vienna in November 1878, one of 8 children, and after studying hard, she entered the University of Vienna in 1901. She became one of the first women to get a degree in physics and the second woman to be awarded a doctorate in Vienna. She worked in Germany from 1907, the first woman to be allowed to work as an assistant at the University of Berlin, and she was the first woman to receive a professorship in physics in Germany. But in 1938, she was forced to leave because of her Jewish ancestry. She escaped to Sweden, where she worked and lived until she moved to Cambridge in 1960, never returning to Austria except for brief visits. As a woman and one with Jewish ancestry, she faced many challenges, but from what I know, these never discouraged her or prevented her doing the things she wanted to do. She worked hard to pass the Matura, the examination that would qualify her to go to university. My father, in his autobiography, writes that her siblings, her brothers and sisters, used to say, "Lise, you are going to flunk. You have just walked through the room without studying." And in Berlin at first, it was very difficult, as women were not readily accepted in universities at the time. But nevertheless, she and Otto Hahn worked together, doing research on isotopes and radioactivity and publishing scientific papers. She was very close to my father, who was also a physicist, and it was them talking together one Christmas in Sweden, in Kungälv, in 1938, that led them to discover fission, the splitting of an atom into 2 or more parts. And this led to the development of nuclear weapons which Lise wanted nothing to do with, refusing to work on them, and also to the development of nuclear energy. My great-aunt was a pioneering nuclear physicist who did important work for which she never got the Nobel Prize, though I'm told she was nominated 49 times. But she has been recognised in many other ways, with scientific awards, which I think probably pleased her the most, with streets and buildings named after her. There's a lecture theatre in the University of Vienna named after her. There are both German and Austrian postage stamps. There's even an element, Meitnerium. The IAEA is not, I'm afraid, the first to name something after her. My great-aunt was one of a remarkable generation. Her brothers and sisters went on to do great things. Her sister Gisela was one of the early women doctors. Another sister was a mathematician. And Lotte Meitner Graf, the wife of her brother Walter, was a portrait photographer. And I think you may be using some of her photographs to promote her work, the programme, and the renaming of the library. My brother Tony and I were only children when Lise retired to Cambridge, but we remember our aunt, Tante Lise, as the family called her, fondly. She had a flat on the ground floor of a newly built block near the centre of Cambridge, and she always made us welcome when we visited. I remember going round after school. My brother remembers playing with Lise in the grounds of the flats. There was a cupboard in the hallway, which she had kept stocked with children's books and with Lego building bricks. I wonder whether it was playing with the bricks that made me consider becoming an architect at one stage. And I still have the wildflower identification book she gave me, with the dedication. To Monica, with all my best wishes, Tante Lise, which I used for many years. I am proud of my relationship to Lise Meitner. She had a remarkable intellect, interested even in her old age in the latest in physics, and was a gentle person who took an interest in my brother and I, even though we were too young to talk physics. 4 years ago, I mentioned to my mother that I remembered Lise Meitner as a kind person. My mother was then in her 90s, and her memory was fading, but she responded, "But she could be fierce." I asked her what made Lise Meitner fierce, getting the answer, injustice. And on Lise's tombstone is the epitaph, written by my father, Lise Meitner, a physicist who never lost her humanity. Thank you very much for listening.
Many thanks, Mrs. Frisch, for sharing with us your personal recollection and family recollection of Lise Meitner. I'm sure we all feel more close to her right now. Born in Austria, Lise Meitner also completed her doctoral studies at the University of Vienna, and I would like to invite the Austrian ambassador, Her Excellency Gabriela Sellner, to take the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Director General, for having me here on this panel. I'm delighted to speak to you on this very happy occasion for us. DG CROSSME, we are very grateful about the way you're steering the agency. You're really concentrating on reaching gender parity, and you are getting towards gender parity fast, I must say. We really appreciate this very much. Austria is very honored that you chose Lise Meitner, a world-famous Austrian-Swedish scientist in physics, to name this program and the agency's library. We are, of course, very happy to have you here, not only in the agency, Mrs. Frisch, but also in Austria, and I wish you a very warm welcome from our side, and thank you for inviting Mrs. Frisch. It's difficult. We have heard now a lot about Lise Meitner, but of course I would underline that she was one of the first 2 women who got the degree of a doctorate here in Vienna at the University of Vienna. She was in the school, in the Akademische Gymnasium, which many of you probably know. And on the program, we are really happy that you are launching already the second program aimed at boosting women's participation in the nuclear sector. We studied in detail, and we note that this program focuses in particular on the field of nuclear energy. And I take it that the Austrian position on nuclear fission is known. It has not changed. And we appreciate very much that the Lise Meitner Programme aims at boosting the career of women in the whole field of nuclear science and applications, including, for example, decommissioning, which becomes more and more important. We welcome that the program focuses on women career development through enhancement of their technical and leadership skills. And let me repeat, we are really truly honored that this library and the program are named after Lise Meitner. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your words. Lise Meitner has worked for many years in Sweden, it was mentioned, and received the Swedish nationality. Among her many accomplishments, she contributed to the construction of Sweden's first nuclear reactor. And I would like now to invite the Swedish ambassador, Her Excellency Annika Markovic, to take the floor.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Director General Grossi, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, dear colleagues. What a great movie that was, and what a great initiative. You know, I think it's really a wonderful and very timely initiative, and I'm very happy that you invited me to be part of this launch. And let me take over in 1938 when she came to my country. In 1938, she made her greatest discovery, the discovery of what came to be known as nuclear fission. But 1938 would also be the turning point for Lise, as she was forced to flee to my country, Sweden, when Nazi Germany annexed Austria that same year. And when she arrived in Stockholm, she started as a research assistant working at the Nobel Research Institute of Physics. And despite her previous achievements, many of her new Swedish colleagues, including Nobel Prize committee members, overlooked her brilliance. Lise Meitner nevertheless continued her research and eventually ended up at the Royal Institute of Technology in 1947. Her expertise was sorely needed there, as Sweden had plans to launch our own nuclear energy program. And that same year, at the age of 70, she started working on the design and construction of the R1, Sweden's first nuclear reactor, under the leadership of Sigvard Eklund, who would later go on to serve as the DG of the IAEA. So we come full circle. The R1 reactor would become the catalyst for Sweden's civilian nuclear program, a program which continues to this day. And her contributions to the Swedish nuclear program were substantial, and her discovery of nuclear fission had global ramifications and paved the way for the peaceful use of nuclear technology. And in addition to her extraordinary scientific achievements, she became a role model for girls and women all over the world, including in Sweden. Lise Meitner became a Swedish citizen in 1949, and she continued living and working in Sweden for 22 years until she moved to Cambridge in 1960. And during her time at the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, she was an icon on campus for the then very few women who studied physics at the university at that time. Women students would often come in to her office and lay down on the sofa to discuss physics. And the Royal Institute of Technology later discovered that the researcher had stolen the sofa to his summer house. And the Royal Institute of Technology has since then, unsuccessfully, tried to get it back because of the historical value. Lise Meitner was indeed a role model to these young women, inspiring them to pursue a career in the nuclear field, which at the time was almost completely dominated by men. And seeing people who look like you doing the things you want to do really makes a difference. It showcases that it is possible for you as well, and provides assurances that you also belong in that field. Seeing is believing, and Lise Meitner was a true trailblazer, becoming one of the most prominent scientists of the 20th century against all odds. So, building on the success of the Maria Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship Program, this new program will help to break down those invisible barriers which continue to stand in the way of women in the nuclear field to this very day. Looking back on Lise Meitner's incredible life and the challenges she overcame, naming this new program after her makes perfect sense. So thank you once again for inviting me, and congratulations.
Thank you, Ambassador. Lise Meitner was indeed a true trailblazer, becoming one of the most prominent scientists of the 20th century. And as our inaugural partner, hosting the first visiting professional cohort through the US Department of Energy, we are now pleased to hear from the US Ambassador, Her Excellency Laura Holgate. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you, DG Grossi, and thank you to the IAEA for organizing this event to highlight this very important new program, which was first announced by you and, as you said, by U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm during the 5th IAEA Ministerial Conference on Nuclear Power, which we were pleased to host in Washington, D.C. last October. And I welcome this opportunity to join you and the other wonderful panel members, friends and old and new friends, to really honor the legacy of Lise Meitner with this new fellowship program for professional women to enhance their skills and to build strong networks to advance their careers in the nuclear field. This program, which will initially be funded by the U.S. Department of Energy, will play an integral role in developing a talented professional workforce and enhancing the contributions of women. We're facing a critical juncture in global history. There is an imperative for strong action by the international community to mitigate the threat of climate change while also working to support energy security and to foster sustainable development around the world. Nuclear technologies can play a critical role in the global effort to achieve these goals. But the global expansion of these technologies requires a well-educated, diverse workforce, which we must continue to build and nurture. Initiatives like the Lise Meitner Programme, which complements the IAEA's successful Marie Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship Program, these are on the forefront of global efforts to develop a pipeline of qualified women for the nuclear sector. The Lise Meitner Program will provide women with opportunities to experience innovative, dynamic training at internationally recognized facilities from pioneering leaders who can provide unique opportunities to grow and learn from the best in the nuclear field. And through hands-on training, professional networks, mentorship, the fellows will be able to develop and expand their impact in the field of nuclear technology. The United States is proud to partner with the IAEA on the Lise Meitner Program, and there is no better day than today, International Women's Day, to roll it out. And we are excited about the opportunities to leverage our world-class universities and laboratories and to host cohorts of some of the brightest minds from around the world. As an international gender champion, I am especially pleased to support this initiative because it represents an opportunity to effect real progress, as you said, Raphael, towards the empowerment of women. It provides early career exposure to innovative technology centers and offers the priceless opportunity to network with some of the most prominent trailblazers in the nuclear field. Additionally, initiatives like the Lise Meitner and Marie Sklodowska-Curie programs will have ripple effects. The participants and beneficiaries of this fellowship will go on to help inspire and mentor others. And together, we will break down gender barriers and make gender equality a working reality in the nuclear sphere. Of course, goals without measurable outcomes are only aspirations. And under the Lise Meitner Program, we will work with the IAEA to evaluate the diversity of the participant pool, the success of the technical visits, and the achievements of the fellows in order to deliver real significant impacts. U.S. support for the Lise Meitner Program demonstrates our firm commitment to the IAEA's efforts to develop the professional, diverse workforce needed to maintain and sustain safe, and secure nuclear technology programs around the world. These international capacity building initiatives are a crucial part of this effort to harness nuclear technology for global climate, energy security, economic, and non-proliferation goals. As an ardent champion of the Lise Meitner Programme and other initiatives aimed at building a cadre of future women leaders, I encourage other member states to support this important initiative, which will pay dividends for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for your inspiring words and your support to the Lise Meitner Programme, which, as you said very rightly, will break down gender barriers and make gender equality a working reality in the nuclear sphere. Let's now look a bit more in the details of the framework of the IAEA Lise Meitner Programme. We have the pleasure to have with us today Professor Lise Marshall. She's Assistant Extension Professor and Director of Outreach, Retention and Engagement at the North Carolina State University, and she will host the first cohort of the Lise Meitner Programme. Professor Marshall, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone. This is a momentous occasion, and I would like to thank the IAEA DG Grossi and professionals here for the opportunity to participate. My name, once again, is Lise Marshall. I'm the Director for Outreach, Retention, and Engagement, and recently promoted to the Assistant Extension Professor position at North Carolina State Department of Nuclear Engineering. In over my many years within the field, I won't tell you how many years, just many years, I've had the honor and joy to make an impact working with the next generation of students. And this is a crucial addition. Dr. Lise Meitner is a pioneer, was a pioneer in the field, and we stand on her shoulders, lifting up the next generation of trailblazers. It is not lost, the meaning of today, the International Women's Day, highlighting the role of innovative technology in promoting gender equality and meeting the health and development needs of women and girls. The theme for this year, Digital. We must encourage, mentor, and advocate for a diversity of women in the field. This program will make a multidisciplinary and multi-nation approach, drawing upon talent worldwide, combining experimental and computational techniques, combining universities, laboratories, industries, and the IAEA to bring a unique perspective to nuclear engineering education. We are forging an exciting path forward. Thank you, Dr. Meitner, the IAEA, and future partners as we pay it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Marshall, for the insight you gave us on the program coming. Let's now hear from member states representatives who would like to express their support to our new IAEA Lise Meitner program. I would like kindly to ask you to remain in 1 minute because many of you may want to speak, and I was given some names. So I would like to ask the Ambassador of Belgium first to take the floor. Thank you, Ambassador.
Yes, thank you, and really thanks to launch this important program on this very important day. Many congratulations on the launch of the Lise Meitner Programme, which is really a useful complement to the Marie Sklodowska-Curie Fellowship Programme in the sense that it links and it assures continuity between the academic and the career developments. It is very important to continue to support women in nuclear science careers, just because we need the talent, the creativity, and the expertise, be it for men and women. But we need the most people to work together and to maximize our individual contributions. Coming from a country with a broad nuclear expertise, of course, we will look into the concrete possibilities to support this new initiative with the help of our expert and from the Belgian Nuclear Research Center. As you said already, Mrs. Frisch, Lise Meitner inspired a lot of organizations. There is also Lise Meitner Prize from the, I think, the European Physical Society for outstanding work in applied nuclear sciences. And there was a Belgian scientist, Professor Piet van Duppen from the KU Leuven, who was awarded this prize in 2020. And in an interview he said, and I quote, there is a need for more women in science at all levels, and surely Lise Meitner has been an outstanding example. I think that we can all agree to see Lise Meitner as an example, and an example of a nuclear scientist with humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. I would like now to give the floor to the Ambassador of Portugal.
Thank you so much, Director General, Ms. Frisch, distinguished guests, colleagues. I'm honored by this opportunity to say a few words on the launching of the Lise Meitner Programme, which, together with the very successful Maria's Cloud dismantling of barriers that have for too long kept women away from these areas, allowing them at last to fully contribute with their experience, competence and talent to the development of a peaceful source of progress whose full positive potential we are now only starting to explore. Honoring two remarkable female scientists that gave important contributions for the development of nuclear science, these programs will ensure female scientists and researchers due recognition for the critical role they already play in nuclear research and connected activities, as they will, I'm sure, inspire many more women who want to engage professionally in this field. It will open new perspectives for have any place in our societies. This is an important and timely initiative that deserves our applause and our support. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. I would like now to give the floor to the Ambassador of Slovenia.
Thank you very much. I would also like to shortly underline Slovenia's support for Lise Meitner Programme. My motto in International Gender Champion is, and will stay, and I still believe in it, you cannot win with only half the team. For a knowledge-based organization like IAEA is, it is really essential to bring and retain professionals of all genders. It's also, to us, also a logical step from the successful Marie Sklodowska career program that we liked very much and we also support it. So, to conclude, most of us do not have Nobel Prizes, but we do try to keep humanity. And at this point, I would like to thank DG for your initiative to give a pledge that we will support you, because, as I have heard this morning in another panel from a very young activist on gender equality, she said, we can, we act, we change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. I would like now to give the floor to the representative of Canada.
Well, first of all, let me say what a privilege it is here to be with this distinguished panel on International Women's Day. It was my sincere thanks to the panel, to Director General Grossi, and to the IAEA for this terrific initiative. In particular, we thought that one of the best advantages of this program is that it seems to fill an important gap that we might have in terms of providing practical and valuable opportunities for mid-career women professionals to build on the study that they've already accomplished. So we see really great value in that. Ambassador Holgate mentioned in particular 3 elements of the program that really resonated with me, which were mentoring, networking, and coaching. And these have been incredible force multipliers for myself in my own career, having had the privilege of working with not 1 but 2 really trailblazing women in nuclear. And so, you know, we're really pleased to see these as key elements of this program. It will come as no surprise to anyone here that Canada is a strong believer in finding practical ways to support women in all their professional paths. And we'll be following this initiative closely. I'll be sending back information about this program to headquarters, along with a notation that the United States has beaten us to the punch, which is often a good way to open Canadian purse strings.
Thank you very much. I would like now to give the floor to the ambassador of Brazil.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to all. This being International Women's Day, and Brazil having very recently re-established a dedicated Ministry of Women, I could really not forego not being at this event to thank the Director General for his leadership for the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Fellowship Program, for the Lise Meitner Career Advancement Program, for the wonderful panel, for Lise Meitner's grandees being present here, and my fellow colleague ambassadors who participated. The program will help many women to reach goals that otherwise might be unattainable, particularly in developing countries. And so this is a kind of initiative that will allow so many more women to be in places where they otherwise would not be able to. And I hope and believe and trust that in the very near future, the DG will be greeted by many more young women saying that they are fellows and they have benefited from these very special programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. And now I would like to give the floor to the representative of Germany.
Werte Frau Fisch, Director General, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, congratulations to this initiative, and I'm sure when it comes to the implementation, Germany and especially also the German private sector will contribute. About the work of Lise Meitner, and that has been said, to put it in a nutshell, I'm sure we would not be here without her because there would be no IAEA, full stop. Her contribution to Atoms for Peace was crucial. You already mentioned that she spent a few years, or many years, in Berlin, and one proof is that the research reactor of the University of Berlin has the address Hahn-Meitner-Platz #1. And I would like to highlight the active contribution of Lise Meitner when it comes to female emancipation in Germany. She was a real door crasher because thanks to her, in 1909, the legal framework in Prussia was changed and women were allowed to attend universities. When she came to Berlin in 1908, she had to attend the classes informally and sneak into the university building. So for this, I think she added a great value, and I can only encourage, especially young people, to study the fascinating biography of Lise Meitner. Thank you very much.
Our thanks to the representative of Germany. I was told there was other countries, but I'm not sure they are present here with us. Is there any other declaration of support? No? Okay, so thank you very much for all those declarations. We are now opening the time of the Q&A session. So if there is any questions for our distinguished panel, please raise your hand and one of our colleagues in your area will give you the microphone. No questions? Thank you very much. So we will now proceed with the final item on our event to celebrate Lise Meitner pioneer research and the role model that she has been for many future women scientists. The IAEA decided, as our Director General mentioned, to rename the IAEA Library the IAEA Lise Meitner Library. So I would now invite the Director General and Mrs. Monika Frisch to unveil for you the new library plaque.
I think yes. Come.
We will have a group photo right after. So
That side?
yes.
All right. We go?
Mm-hmm. Let me just take this from you. Thank you. And if you want, please, to go just along the plate so we can have a group picture with all of you. Thank you. Yes. Mrs. Marshall, Professor Marshall, if you want to join.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Before proceeding to the reception that is kindly hosted by the Permanent Mission of the United States, I would like to invite you also to join us again at 14:45 at the library in F01 for the inaugural ceremony of the new Lise Meitner Library nameplate. Thank you very much. Merci, gracias, shukran lake, sheche, danke.
Satisfied.